Good morning, everybody. We made it. Finally,
We did
did it.
it. It only
Jeez.
took us 13 minutes.
Yeah, for some reason, StreamYard wasn't connecting, and we kept going back. We clicked out, we left, we turned it off, came back in, wasn't loading. And this was on both of our ends here. It wasn't just one of us; it was both of us. It was happening to. So that was absolutely weird. And I tried just going live through YouTube directly, and it was giving me errors about my camera was being used by another app, and the only app that it's being used by is the app that I have to use it to stream through my computer with.
Oh, Lord.
It's like, come on. So stupid.
Oh, and today is our channel's birthday, or at least this
fucking
week.
Birthday.
Thank you, Jehovah. Happy birthday to us.
Maybe that's a sign from Jehovah.
I ain't listening to the sign. I don't know how to read it.
Apparently not, because we're still on and we're still streaming. So welcome back to Apostate Weekly, everybody. I'm your host, James.
I'm Ryan.
And this week, we have some scandals from the elders coming at you. We also have a report about the UK government, about the inquiry for ICSA.
Ooh.
And we also have another story about a marital abuse survivor who was speaking out. And this was a witness that was actually doing this. So how about we roll that intro and get into the show?
Let's do it, baby.
All right. All right. We're here. We've gone through our trials, and now we can finally throw the ring into the mountains of Mordor and defeat Sauron.
We have been hardened like metal. We are now resilient. And shiny.
So you mean, is this like when Jehovah hardened the heart of Pharaoh?
Yeah. He had to beat us down a little bit, and then at the end, everything's fine. That's how it works.
Okay. Well,
didn't you know that's how it goes?
You got to get beat.
Well, that is something that a Jehovah's Witness would say. Good morning, Joe and Fran.
Just remember, though, you can't beat a winner.
Well, you can if you want to.
So glad to see you all here this morning. Thank you for your patience, everybody, and our delays.
It's freezing this morning.
It is.
I was cold.
What is it up your way?
I think it was around 40, which isn't like terrible, but you're starting to see that frost when I walk pickles in the morning. So it's like, oh, too cold for me.
Yeah, I think it was down to about 45, 47 here this morning. So starting to feel it.
Yeah.
Definitely starting to feel the chill.
I just wonder what this winter is going to look like. I feel like every winter is a toss-up because it's not the winters I remember as a child. It's either like super snowy or like there's no snow, and winter's very short.
Well, I had winters as a child in Florida, so I never saw snow.
Oh, yeah. So you weren't even right.
I never saw snow until I was 30 years old. So.
Oh, shit. Weirdo.
Yeah. I blame my parents. They never took me on vacation in the winter. They always took me in the summer.
Weirdos.
I know. And they're right here in the comments to see that I'm calling them weirdos.
We love you, Mom and Dad. It's just joking. Just kidding. Thank you. Appreciate that. The terrible twos.
Yeah, right. Actually, no, we're 3 years old.
Yeah, I think this is our third.
I'm sorry, no, this is 4.
Oh, yeah, this is season 4.
Dang,
it may not be our 4th year, though, but it might be only our 3rd year because the way we've done the seasons. But yeah, it's something like that. It's close enough, 3 to 4 years.
Yeah. We're like, it's like one of those sci-fi shows where time's accelerated.
Oh God, please no more of that. Thank you. Ooh, Chili Willy.
Ooh.
The Arctic Circle. Damn, Tony.
Brr.
Okay.
That's
Anyway.
both very cold and very cool at the same time.
Ooh, yeah, very cool. Super
I would
cool.
love to
I would
see
love to
that.
go up there one
Yeah.
day just to see what it's like. But
Just to kind of like poke my head out the door and take a look and be like, okay.
it would be like for me, the Alien, where the Alien movie, and they're up in that might even been where they were. I don't remember, but the Arctic Circle, and the alien starts popping out of people's bellies and.
Well, see, I like to
That's
think
what I
that
imagine.
the version. You ever see the movie Spaceballs at the end of it?
Yes,
And they had
love
that alien
Spaceballs.
pop out of the guy's stomach at the restaurant. And he
Yes.
starts singing, "Hello, my baby. Hello, my
Hello,
dog."
my darling. Hello, my ragtime gal.
As he dances down the bar into the exit.
Yes, that was so good. Oh my God, I have not seen that movie in so many years. Anywho, I'm not that old.
I just saw that movie recently again, but it's not like I haven't seen it ever before that.
Right. A million times. Good morning. Thank you, everybody. Thank you for joining. We appreciate you. I guess we're a little bit late. Maybe we should get this show on the road. Sorry, we're a little wound up now.
We're like we're babbling on. So we're Babylon the Great.
Yeah, we're babbling on greatly. And I am like riding a beast.
And you are scarlet colored.
That hello. Hello. Very symbolic, my friends. It's fitting.
I know. I mean, I've got the mark of the beast on my head, so.
Oh shit. Yeah, you do. That is the devil.
That's right.
Be mindful. Be mindful. All right. Do you want me to start out with the news, or do you want to start with yours?
You go right ahead.
Me start. Okay. So, friends, unfortunately, I was not able to find a news article that I would normally like to look at. I don't like the way this is formatted, but this is what was tweeted by our dear friend Larchwood. And, they always got the inside scoop on some stuff. So I took a look at this article, and what the claim is that there was a 50-year-old Jehovah's Witness elder who committed sexual crimes against teenagers and young people within, his congregation. So Homeboy appealed his sentence. He was convicted and he appealed his sentence. And I think he's gotten 4 years, just 4 years. And he has to complete a 40-hour sexual violence treatment program. Give me 1 second. Let me switch to the page so I can scroll down for y'all. Where is it? There we go. Okay. So what missed the gentleman's name? I shouldn't call him a gentleman. The jerk's name is Mr. Park. So he is, as I said, a Jehovah's Witness. They're calling him an executive, but we have to remember this is being translated. So it's probably just means that he was in a higher position. Homeboy was an elder. So this elder is 50 years old, and he starts assaulting a 16-year-old girl. And in his head, or at least he's told people that he believed he was in a relationship with this 16-year-old girl, even though she continuously brought it to his attention, and she brought it to other people's attention that this was happening. And when it was finally, like, I guess you would say they finally believed her, the only thing they did was remove him as an elder. That was it. That was his only punishment. And then, of course, what the law gave him. But according to the Jehovah's Witnesses, this man, this elder, he felt as though he shouldn't be punished by the law because he was punished by the JWs getting his elder status revoked. So he brought this up as evidence, as a look, I've already been punished, time paid. That's how delusional this man was. He denied the allegations. He said the victim was his girlfriend, even though he was married at the time. I don't know if he's still married. I don't know if his wife stayed with him. Don't really care. I hope she left him. But yeah, this is just another elder who used his position to exploit people, victims, because the organization trusts this man because he's an elder, and they brush aside any claims or accusations by children victims because they don't believe them. They that's just plain and simple. They would never ever believe us and our claims. They will always defer to somebody who had status, or just a man. Doesn't even matter. So yeah, that's what happened. 4 years, not enough if you ask me. Um, but just
And if his
super
wife
sad.
did stay with him, she is now complicit in his actions.
Right. And I'm sure that they tried to pull all kinds of shenanigans to twist it and make it seem as though the victims are the ones who are the perpetrators, or they liked it or went along with it. When, you know, I understand how it goes. You feel shame. You don't feel like you can say anything. They make you, they steal your permission. It's like this conflation of, what's the word called? Um, oh damn, there's a word, but I like they're going along with it. The fact that it happened to you, they say, oh, well, you were compliant, you were complicit because you let it happen, so you must have wanted it. That's the organization's reasoning.
Yeah,
Even though
it's
this
the whole
girl,
"did you scream" mentality.
yeah, what were you wearing?
Yeah,
Sick weirdos.
yeah,
So
they are.
very, very sad. I don't know how many people he abused. I'm hoping that there will be a better article that gives a little bit more information, but the link is in the description if anybody is interested in reading it for yourself. And if this was in Korea, if I did not mention that, I apologize.
Right. Okay.
Whew. Sorry, y'all. That was a heavy one.
Yeah, and it's not about to get any lighter.
Rutro, what you got, James?
Well, I haven't. This is out of Denmark. My next story here, and there was this lady, a Jehovah's Witness lady, and she was in a very physically abusive relationship. And this went on for years. And the elders obviously don't give them any help when they're in an abusive relationship. What do the elders tell you? Well, you need to be more meek and win them over without a word. And basically, shut up and know your place, woman, is what they're saying. And so this lady, instead of reporting to the police, of course, went to the elders, and what the elders read her scriptures from the Bible. And basically, she says here the message is clear that the violence was to be kept secret and to follow the words of the Bible, obey her husband, not involve the authorities outside of the elders. And, an abusive relationship, she starts describing it, she's like, it doesn't just start off one day, you're with the person and then the next day they're just starting to, beat you senseless. And Dad, it was only a single one, not a double one. But thank you. And so, over time, he started beating her worse and worse and worse. And, this, like I was saying, she went to the elders. They basically told her to do nothing about it. They also wouldn't allow her to go to the doctor for her wounds because they know that a hospital and doctors are going to investigate why these bruises are happening to her, and they're going to report it to the police. I've worked at a hospital. I know they do this. They will report you to the police if they suspect anything like that in a heartbeat. And that's for your ongoing safety and health.
Right. Certain people, like we've talked about before, have to report certain things, like teachers and preachers, right? Like this is why we worry about those laws on whether or not like do elders, when they've been told about an abuse situation, do they have to go to the police? Like there's this whole little system that they got going on, right?
Yep. And of course, the manipulation of the scriptures that they use for her is absolutely disgusting, because they use the scriptures about a wife being submissive to her husband. And on top of that, Jehovah's Witnesses do not allow for divorce other than for having sex outside the marriage. And that's also got a stipulation. If your spouse has sex outside the marriage and then you go have sex with your spouse again, then that's considered that you forgave them and you're not allowed to get a divorce after that. So even that, you got to be careful.
They get you. Isn't that freaking weird? So say, okay, you know, my husband cheats on me and I'm not sure if I want to forgive him. You know what I mean? Like part of I love this man, but at the same time, he broke my heart. Technically he also broke the promises between like Jehovah, right? Because Jehovah's supposed to be in the relationship. And say, you know, I'm horny and I want to get down to clown with my hubs because I mean, it's all I got. Maybe I'm emotional. You F them. And maybe one day you decide, you know what, actually, I actually can't forgive him. I've tried. We've had sex. We've tried to, you know, be like we were before. I couldn't get into it. I don't see him the same. Too bad, so sad, because you effed him. Now you can't leave. Bullish. That.
You effed him. Now you're effed.
Yeah, you effed him. No. He effed you around.
Yeah.
And you effed him.
And now you're the one who ends up effed.
Yeah, now you're the one who ends up effed.
You're double effed.
That is such a weird dynamic. Why are you in my bedroom? Yeah. Why are you wondering about what I'm doing with my partner? It's none of your business. Not how we have sex, when we have sex. It's just not your business. It's creepy.
Mm-hmm. Well, this lady went through quite a journey, because she's since left the religion, but it took her husband was actually disfellowshipped for his actions, but later reinstated. She continued to be faithful to the religion for a long time. And then after about 10 years, she was finally disfellowshipped after feeling imprisoned in this religion. And she said that, you know, the expulsion is one of the worst things I have experienced. I lost everything and felt so alone. And it was as if I died for my family, and I haven't spoken to them since, but I was finally free. So after all that, she was finally free. So I really hope that she takes the time that she needs to heal and deconstruct and really figure out what happened in her life, so that way it doesn't happen to her again.
Yeah, 100%. I understand that feeling of finally feeling like you're free and detached from the ball and chain, the weight on your shoulders that's been just hanging around since you've been in the organization. And even though she's been through hell, she probably feels so much better just knowing she's in control of her own body now. She can set boundaries, and it's her decision what she does from here on out.
Yes, absolutely. So I wish her nothing but the best and happiness that she can get out of life. And, you know, for that scumbag that beat her, I hope his ass ends up in prison. The article didn't say.
Deserves it. 100%.
Absolutely. All right. Did you have another story for today, or?
You know what? Okay, I do, but I do also have a question about something.
Okay.
I saw Larchwood post an article. Now, this was back from June, back when the Australia Royal Commission encouraged all these people to apologize, like the organizations who should apologize, and it listed out the actual names of people who caused like abuses within all these different churches.
You retweeted that one, didn't you?
I did, and I'm certain that we talked about that. Did we also But did we discuss that they mentioned the governing body by name? I can't.
No,
I'm so
we
sorry.
didn't.
My brain just sometimes don't remember those details. Okay, because I thought that was new.
Yeah, that is new. I saw that last night, actually. Thank you for bringing that up because I just brought it up on my computer. I found it from Larchwood's X.
Tweet.
And
Okay.
it was basically the ICSA or no, Australia. I'm sorry. I have my
Mark,
other
yeah.
articles, ICSA. Sorry. It's the
There's
same.
so many now. There's so
I
many
know.
now.
But they sent out a list of people who should apologize. And it says the Royal Commission recommended that public acknowledgments and apologies for historical abuse and neglect be made by the most senior leaders of a list of relevant churches, governments, agencies, and professional organizations. These people who currently hold these roles, and there's a whole list, and then at the end of the list it says the governing body of Jehovah's Witnesses, and it names them by name: Kenneth Cook Jr., Gage Flegel, Samuel Hurd, Jeffrey Jackson, Mark Lett, Garrett Loesch, Douglas Anderson, David Splain, and Jeffrey Winder. You're muted.
Oopsie, the only name I feel like is really missing is Tony Morris.
Yeah, but he's no longer part of it. But I see where you're coming from, and I agree with that.
Right. Like I get it because he can't apologize at this point. Nobody would hear him or listen. You know, he's not in the organization. But it does kind of bother me that they have mentioned the new ones because yes, they are also should be held accountable. But since this goes back to like the 1950s, like the research or whatever, it's a bit disappointing that they haven't mentioned every single GB from that moment till the current time.
They should have mentioned every single GDGB member.
Yes, in my opinion.
Well,
I feel like Tony Moore should have been mentioned.
They also missed the two new ones from the annual meeting.
Right. And they should also be held accountable as well. Sorry that you just joined the position. This was your decision, babes.
Yep. But, you know, those people were on the service committee before they were part of the governing body. They know. So there is no feeling sorry for them. They are complicit with this.
Yes, exactly. They've known about this. There's no way that you could be that close to the GB, handling all their business, wiping their asses basically for them, and not know that there's all these accusations swirling around. No.
Exactly.
I agree with you. They know.
Well, with that being said, that actually ties into my last story I had here.
Okay.
And this one actually goes to the UK's ICSA. And there's this, I don't know who this lady is. Oh, here we go. Professor Alexis J., the former chair of the Independent Inquiry into Child Sexual Abuse. So she's a chair of the ICSA here. She says that the government in the UK has missed a once-in-a-lifetime chance to protect children from abuses. So she has been lobbying Parliament. She's been lobbying ministers, trying to get more protections passed for children in these situations. And basically, what she said is that after the hearing of the repeated instances, you know, disclosures by children and their families, they weren't followed up. So the system of abuses were enabled in their homes, their schools, their institutions. You know, she recommended a new criminal offense for people working in positions of trust who fail to report these allegations. And, you know, other recommendations that have been made. But the UK government has just basically sat on their hands and done nothing about it. Like, what was the point of you having this whole hearing about it and then not following through and doing the recommendations of the people that were on the panel? I mean, it's just disgusting.
Yeah. Disgusting. deplorable. I'm sick of it continuing to happen, especially we know that it seems like it's typical. Like this is just natural behavior.
I mean, Australia and New Zealand at least took action and are making recommendations for
Right.
organizations to change and make them do something about it. They're even calling them out. Hey, you guys haven't apologized. You need to stand up and apologize.
Mm.
But the UK is just kind of, whatever. We did the thing, so we're good. Like, come on, guys,
Get with
get off
it.
your asses and do something.
Yeah, I don't get that. I don't get that nonchalant, complicit, non-action kind of shit. Like I just want to move into action. As soon as I hear like a child's been abused, like I want to hit the ground running. How can a government just be like,
So while we all jump and for joy and hey, this government's going after the witnesses for this or this, when we're all so happy about it, we really want to see some action done, and then they putter out at the end and don't do nothing. It's just like, why are you wasting our time? If you're not going to do something, quit wasting people's time. Just tell us you don't fucking care and move on. You're muted.
I could deal better and handle people who are just honest about being assholes, because that would make me maneuver through life a bit different instead of people lying to my face and pretending there's something they're not.
Yeah, exactly.
Be honest if you're a dick.
Yeah, that's exactly it. Just be honest about it. If you're going to be a dick, just be honest about it. Let us know who you are. Don't try to pretend who you are and then disappoint everybody even worse, because we're only going to hate you more and we're not going to trust you.
Yeah, once you ruin and like break the trust, things start to change. They're not the same. And it takes a long time to get trust back and build that.
Yep. Trust is like a needle to a balloon. One prick of it, it's gone.
Yeah, one prick, that's all it takes.
Sometimes it's a board of pricks.
Yeah, fuck. Sometimes our government are pricks.
More than sometimes, unfortunately. I know.
Help me. Actually, speaking of which, are we ready to move on?
Yeah.
Yeah, do you want okay, so quick last week, and I apologize, I did not get through to everything that I wanted to. I'm just a bit busy and overwhelmed with other things, but it is something that I want to work on so that way I can disseminate this information. Someone had asked me about like right-wing groups and like what companies are the ones who are supporting like these far right talking points, excuse me. So I got a little bit of, oh no, you little bitch. Wrong one. Sorry.
Apple TV. All right.
So there's many different websites that you can go to take a look and see who is supporting like what candidates, etc. So this is just one website. It is in our list, the description for the show today. So here, if you wanted to, you could see like, okay, so who is supporting Donald Trump? And then once you find the name of like the organization, the New York Jets, isn't that fucking crazy? But once you find out the information, then you can say, okay, Hendricks Holding Company. What does Hendricks Holding Company produce, or what do they do? Yada, 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 yada. And then from that, right, here we go. The billionaires, Koch brothers. Koch? Is that Koch? Coach. Koch.
Koch brothers.
Koch brothers. Right. So what I would do is I would take Koch brothers. I'm sorry, I just want to say Koch brothers now. I would take Koch brothers. I'm going to paste it into my search bar. I'm going to take a look at Wikipedia. I'm going to go through and see what kind of companies they own. What do they trade? What do they produce? Yada, yada, yada. Okay, I don't know what it is. I'm not going to read through this right now, but I find out that they produce coffee. I'm just making this up. Okay, I'm not buying that coffee brand. So that's what we need to do. That's the purpose of BDS, boycott, divest, and sanctioned. The purpose is to take the money out of the pockets of these large corporations who are the ones who are backing up these far right and even some of the bullshit left stuff, I'm sure, whatever, whoever they are trying to make policies that are going to harm us. So there is another website as well. I'm just going to show you. Now these are organizations. There's also lists of people who are just fucking rich because of the jobs they do that are supporting these far right talking points. And then they have committees and they start these PACs. We've talked about these super PACs and lobbyists because Jehovah's Witnesses use them as well. So they don't have to get their hands dirty, but they have an organization who does all the dirty work for them, like the Heritage Foundation. That's another company that we should research. And I might have more information next week when I have time. But they are they are creating systems. Sorry, I'm trying to word this for like Project 2025. These are the people, Elon Musk, the millions that he's donated to Donald Trump's candidacy and right? They're going to put in some very heavily restricted, like they're removing parts of our government is what he wants to do. And says that he's going to give us our rights back, like our freedom of speech and freedom of the press. That's what he's claiming. But to me, I feel like that means he's going to say freedom for the kind of speech that he wants to put out there. He could, like, his cabinet could say whatever they want, and that's freedom of speech. But if I brought like real actual news, like for instance, I hope y'all understand how much this breaks my heart. Lebanese. So Israel destroyed an Ottoman era building near Baalbek ruins. Do you notice that name, Baalbek? Okay, so this was a temple from like the Bronze Age, y'all. Do you understand? Like this temple goes back thousands before Yahweh was even written on a fucking stone. This building, like buildings like these existed. And Israel just and the temple looked really good. Like it was still fairly, I was hoping there was a picture on here. Okay, now you'd have to look it up. I digress. I don't want to continue to go on. But basically they're going to put in policies that say like, oh yeah, we can kill people, but if I, Rion, bring up the fact they're killing innocent civilians and they're destroying important, parts of history, like this is important part of history, and they're cleansing, ethnically erasing. So it doesn't exist. They can just erase it from history. And that wouldn't be considered freedom of speech. I would be considered a terrorist. And that is what Donald J. Trump is going to do. People like me, Lebanese, Arab people who are speaking out about the horrors, the tragedies that are happening under freedom of speech, I'll be the T word and he'll be the good guy. Thank you. Like, you guys, like I wanted to go here. Like this was going to be one day part of like me connecting back with like who I am as I'm gonna cry. I'm so pissed. So yeah, this is what Israel is doing, and this is intentional. It's not like, yeah. Sorry, guys. I know that was like a tirade, but I'm just really sad about that shit.
No, it's terrible. I mean, you're literally destroying world history. You're destroying things that have been around that we can study, that we could learn from, even if it's just to get a better understanding of what those cultures were like back then.
Regardless if you believe in Baal Hadad or not, it's super cool history, man. That's what people were doing back. And those temples, those people, those beliefs inspired the Bible. And it's there's so much evidence. Like that's what I do is I deconstruct the Bible and show people clearly the evidence and the connections between other religions and what you find in the Bible. And it really does break my heart that you're destroying everything that inspired you to write what was written.
Yeah. And that's just the thing with the Bible, because what a lot of people don't know is that the stories and the religions that were created, especially in those ancient cultures, they all took pieces of beliefs from each other around other cultures and
Yeah.
incorporated them into their own belief system, whether directly or indirectly, because back then they didn't have plagiarism laws.
Now,
So they were able to just take whatever they wanted and incorporate, oh, this is now part of our religion. This is what we believe. But when you get the pieces like those ruins that we just saw and all that, you get to see and put together the story. You get a better understanding of not just the culture where you see this little snippet of Baal come from, but also why they used it and their side of it.
yeah.
You just get so much more information. It just makes the story so much richer and deeper to have the full multicultural knowledge of it than you ever will just getting it from the Bible itself.
Right, and destroying, like, these beautiful places, like, it to me, it's the same as, like, I wouldn't want to, as much as I don't like the Bible, I think destroying it or throwing away would be erasing a window of history, right? And
Yeah.
regardless if it's true or not, we get to read in between the lines and see what these people were thinking similarly with the culture and temples and these sacred spaces, social, spaces that people used to get together in and worship, do whatever they did, even if it was just to socialize, that give us so much information, is gone now. And it really is important to understand our history, regardless if it's ours or another ethnic history. It still shows us how we borrow from each other and we adapt the ideas and we inspire each other. And that's such a beautiful thing because it does show us how much we have in common. And now it's
Yeah.
gone. Yeah.
Yeah. Unfortunately. And thank you, Tony, for that reminder for everybody to like and subscribe and share. Appreciate that.
Just
So,
like that. Crazy thumbs. Get it. Get it.
got any other
Oh God, I think I've said enough, my friends. That I probably do, but I feel like like I always have 20 things I could talk about, but that's just too much. I think that's plenty. And thank you everybody who has supported us through our birthday. And yeah, I love you guys.
That's right. So it's our birthday. Give us the present of subscribing, liking, and sharing this out to everybody.
Knowledge is power.
That would be a great present.
Critical thinking, asking questions, growing a better understanding is the way to go. It is the way to go, my friends.
100%. Because if you don't have that, you get too easily fooled into some stupid bullshit.
Fall for anything, stand for something, or fall for anything.
And that's right. So with that being said, we're going to go ahead and end the show. Thank you guys for bearing with our technical difficulties this morning. And we finally got this show on the road. Hope you all have a great week. And we will be back at it next week. And hope everybody has a great weekend. We love y'all.
We love you. Apostate your way. Listen, obey, and you'll be blessed.
That's right. Take care, everybody.